The National Assembly begins its interpellation session. For 4 days, government officials will be in the hot seat, with lawmakers questioning them on a range of topics. Here's Kim Min-ji with the highlights from Parliament.
On day one of the National Assembly's interpellation session, rival parties went back and forth over their government's signature income-led growth policies. Lawmakers from the ruling Democratic Party of Korea defended them, saying they will change the country's economic paradigm, but they also said the government needs to do more to explain its policies and what side effects they might have. At the same time, it blamed the current dire economic situation on the previous conservative government.
The interest rate cuts under the previous government did not lead to a structural reform, which the economy needed at the time. It created zombie companies and is the root cause of the problem today.
However, lawmakers from the opposition bloc called the current government's policies a failure and stressed the need for a total change in direction. It said the government's minimum wage hike and push for shorter working hours is doing more harm than good.
How many more small business owners and self-employed have to close up shop, crying for the government to stop with its income-led growth strategy? The minimum wage hike is hurting the vulnerable even more.
Another sticking point was whether to ratify the agreement reached by the two Koreas in April at Panmunjom. The ruling party said it would provide legal grounds for the government to implement the deal, even if there is a change in administration, and for the establishment of lasting peace on the peninsula.
What kind of impact do you expect if Parliament ratifies the summit agreement?
Until now, a lack of trust has been a problem in advancing both South-North ties and Pyongyang-Washington ties. With ratification, we could ease these problems, and it will be a guarantee that the two sides will fulfill their promises.
However, the opposition bloc argued that now is not the time, and what the government needs to do is win the understanding of the people, because it will be a burden on them too, given the hefty price hike. Without a sincere commitment on the North's part to denuclearize, they said, ratification is not an option.
Did you get a direct promise that they will denuclearize, or do you just hope that they will if Seoul tries hard enough?
The North Korean leader has publicly expressed his will to denuclearize a number of times.
Although the interpellation session was scheduled to be held for the next 3 days, the rival parties agreed to postpone it until after the Inter-Korean summit, so that the issues covered here are not overshadowed by the big event. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.